All right, so we just did get the smoke with the crew here in Austin. Now we're going to go and pour into our Fort Lauderdale team and get after it. There we go, baby. There we go, man. All right, cool. So, hey, put in the chat if, let's actually do this. How many of you guys are going to issue pay above 15K in this Zoom room? Above 15K. And I want to be honest because I can go look at the numbers. So let's see. We're doing a day in the life. Say what up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 people. Okay, and there's 52 people on. All right, sweet. So I want to do some quick insurance math for you guys. All right, if you got a phone, pull this out. I want you to pull out 15,000. And if you want to submit 15K, how much a week in leads? How many leads a week are you buying? What do you think, Franco? You can unmute yourself. Oh, I can't hear you. All right, Adam, how much?
Per week or per month?
Per week.
Per week, I would say you have to buy 1,200 to 1,500, in my opinion.
Okay. So
pretty good ROI.
Well, I want you guys to look at this. So if you issue pay $15,000 and you're spending $1,200 a week on leads, watch the math. So first off, 30% of people are going to fall off. We're just going to go industry average. So you do 15,000 times 0.7. That's 10,500. Now, most of you guys are going to be at like 90%, 85% commission levels. So we're going to factor that in. So times it by 0.9. We'll just put you guys at 90%. That's 9,450. Now let's do the upfront advance. That's 75.75. That's 7,000. Now let's go ahead and subtract your lead spend. Let's just say it was 1,250. So 1,250 times 4 is 5,000. So 7,000 minus your lead spend is $2,087. Let me ask you guys a question. Could $2,087 cover all your bills and your necessities? Fuck no. Hell no. Okay, so it is a very real problem if you guys are not paying $15,000, and I don't want to overlook that. All right, that's the first thing. So I'm gonna walk you guys through like really quickly how to become a top producer, and then I'm going to speak to the builders, and then I'm going to speak into the vision that I have for All-Star and every single one of us. So you just heard from Preston Beck if you were on the All-Stars training. He went from doing $45,000 months then to 35, and then after that he was averaging like literally 8K months. And the only difference was two things. Is number one, he stopped showing up to all the trainings and he stopped showing up to the fire. Because if you're close to the fire, you're bound to get hot. When you're in the Zoom rooms, you're bound to be successful as long as you're asking for good feedback. When you're inside of the offices and you're truly showing up with intent, you're going to be more successful than the other guy that's isolating himself. It can be a cold, lonely business if you're not involved with the team. Number two, Preston unfortunately stopped buying leads. He would go and he would try to milk the old leads that he had from the past week. And how many of you guys do that? How many of you guys will take the inventory you had last week, you're like, I know there's still leads in here, and then you try to squeeze that out. And like, think about it. Let's say you just spent $1,000 on leads and you're able to do 5,200 on it. And you're like, okay, I haven't seen deposits yet. I got bills coming up, and I only got like $800 on my credit card, and I'm gonna just save that just for like, my necessities. I think that's important, but it's more important to pay your business first because your business is your baby. And so if you guys have kids or not, like picture this: if it was between you eating and your child, who would you make sure ate first? You'd always make sure your kid ate first. And so that's when you're going to need to go and spend some money on leads, go and flip that, take that $800 you got on your card, go and flip it into $3,400, 4,200, 5,600. You never know when you're going to pop off. And then now, by the time the first, second, third, fourth, fifth rolls around, you're going to have hopefully 10 to 12K of deposits. And I think in the really early phases of this business, you guys, it really just comes down to one equation, which is lead flow plus workflow equals cash flow. If you're running a restaurant, every single week you need to buy inventory. If me and what's your name? How do you say your name? J-A and then N?
Calvin Newsom.
Calvin Newsom, bro. Nice to meet you. I see you taking notes, bro. So if me and you were to open up a pizza joint, we would need pepperoni, mozzarella, cheese, the dough, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Every week we'd have to buy that so when customers came in, we could sell the product. When I first came into this industry, I didn't realize that this was more than a job, that this was truly a business, and I had to start treating it like a business, which means every single week you need to buy inventory. And I promise you right now, if you can commit to always spending minimum $750 a week on leads, regardless of your situation, you will be successful. Because I can promise you, if you don't, you'll most likely be out of the business. It's as simple as that. Okay, now, what leads should you run, right? I think you guys are all trying to figure that out right now. We have people that are being successful on aged premiums with Go. A lot of guys, this is what I would do. If you guys are below 15,000, this is genuinely what I would do. I would be going and buying every single aged lead. Because they're what? How much is like an aged final expense lead? $4, $7? Do you know, Adam?
2 to
I was
7.
can find them from 2 to 7.
Yeah, 2 to 7.
I mean, dude, look, you go spend $500 and they're $2 leads. So you get 250 leads. Out of 250 leads, you'll probably get 30 people to answer the phone. You'll realistically have like 8 presentations, and out of 8 presentations, you'll close 3. Like, you're gonna find some laydowns in there. These guys in the Austin office, they're buying $250 of closer tech leads, and they're flipping it into $3K. $250 to spend into $3K. But you know what the difference is those guys literally rip the phones for $600 a day, $700 a day. But they understand life isn't always going to be like that. Right now, you either have time or you have money. And these guys don't have money, so they got to use all the time they have to rip the phones with a lot of intention. And then they take that $3,000, so they'll probably net like $2,200, and then they'll go buy another pack of aged or closer tech or whatever leads they're going to buy, and then they go and spend an extra $500. So now I have $750 of lead spend. They go and flip that into like 6, 7K, dial those really, really hard. And then now it's this slow ascension model. But what people do is they just buy the 250, they see the 3, and they're like, oh, that worked one time. Let me just keep doing that. But that's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting. So you can't do that. So we got guys doing FEX premiums with Go. Closer techs are great to start. Any type of age lead is super great to start. Ronnie Salem's leads are super solid as well. There's people crushing it. And I want you guys to take this mentality with you. I've done Hall of Fame twice. I've sold 1.5 million on my own pen. We used to dial 10-year-old mortgage protection leads. 10-year-old leads. But my mentality was always, I'm going to be the best closer on the worst lead. It doesn't matter. I was going to be the best closer on aged. All right, and so if you guys are dialing age, the biggest thing is going to be your introduction. All right, so your introduction, you have to be different. So for me, I was always like, ring, ring, hey, Adam? And then he'd be like, yeah, who's this? I'm like, Adam, dude, I am so sorry about that. I'm like, it looks like no one ever got this out to you. Did anyone get this to you? They're like, get what? I'm like, yeah, so this is the request you sent in that takes care of your loved ones when you pass away. I got your date of birth here is 10/10/55, is that correct? And then I'm ripping fast. But all you're trying to do is get a buffer period where these guys will actually listen to you. But like with your dial-in age, you guys have to move differently inside of introduction. It's called gamesmanship. Gamesmanship is honestly just like getting creative, getting crafty, so that you can get into these presentations, because we all know inside of an age lead, you have to get crafty. Also, the last thing I want to speak into with this is, if you guys played baseball, I didn't play baseball, I was a hooper. You only get a couple strikes down the middle per game. So you might only get 2-3 pitches that you can hit, get on base, and score. So inside of sales, it's the same thing when you're dialing the phone. If you guys are not dialing with intention, you're on Instagram. If you guys are talking to the homie to your left or your right, and then finally that person that is a buyer picks up the phone, but you're not fully lasered and locked in, that strike down comes down the middle. And it's like, the best way I can put it is, imagine you're playing baseball. They throw that perfect pitch that you could hit, but you're looking out in the crowd. Or you and the catcher are talking, and that ball comes right down the middle and you miss it. So I need you guys to understand, like, in the beginning phase of your business, like, dude, you have to move with a different type of pace and intention than you ever had in your life. Because if you've never made $10, $15, $20, $30,000, you have to change the behaviors of yourself in order to make that type of money. You can't expect to stay the exact same person and have a different level of income. The vehicle is better, there's no doubt, but you're not. So you have to begin to change. And that's the last thing I'll speak into with this is, if we're running a race and we're like, this is a marathon. I think Dante, Adam, every guy that's been here longer than 18 months, like, you guys are really beginning to understand like how long of a game this is. So if we're running a race and I have a 40-pound vest on, the first thing that I'm doing is figuring out how to take that damn vest off so I don't have all this weight on me. And so for a lot of us, we have to figure out the things that hold us back and slow us down. To be honest, are you guys disciplined, and can you wake up on time and get your head right in the morning? On Friday night, do you go out with the boys and you have a couple too many, and then you wake up on Saturday and you can't execute on Saturday? You probably don't even work Saturday, and you're running your own business for the first time, and you're like, I'm just going to work 5 days a week just like I used to. It's like, no, dude, welcome to the fucking big leagues, bro. Do you still hang around the same friends that all they want is an average and ordinary life for themselves, and they speak into your life? And unfortunately, that, when it gets in your ears and it gets in your head, it affects your work. And so, like, really early on in your business, I want you guys to think through, what are the things that are slowing you down? And like, dude, sacrifice is the biggest way to success. Who can out-sacrifice who? Literally. Like, who can out-sacrifice who? What are you willing to give up to get what you've never had? Very key fundamental principle. All right. So that is very just simple stuff, and I can spend a lot of time helping you guys get to like that 15, but we have plenty of training in place. We got everything you guys could need. You have amazing leaders inside of your guys' group. They'll allow you to get to 15K. And I also want you to understand, all your leaders, Dante, Adam, and I, that's all I can see on the screen right now. Everything they put in front of you and everything they tell you is only for your best interest. Like, that is it. They only want to see you win at the highest level. So, also, actually, I'll share this. Tanner Mendelson, he was one of the fastest guys to climb to 100K months. And what I noticed about Tanner was, if I was on the phone with him and I was giving him advice, the moment that I got off the phone, he would implement. His speed to implementing things was right away, right off rip. And so for you guys, whatever information you get, if it's on a training call, if it's on this call, if it's from one of your mentors, like, how quickly you implement is how quickly you're going to have success. Very crucial. So that's that. Now I want to speak to, I want to speak to the guy building the team. So this is pretty cool. So you guys are honestly like in a race for comp. So here, I'll show you this. I think this will be good to go through. Actually, I don't got the comp chart in front of me. What's 110, Dante, with you guys? Do you know? 45K?
110, yeah, it's 45K, and then 115 goes into the team.
Nice. Okay. So your goal is to get to 110 as fast as humanly possible. So if you're doing 45,000 and you're at a 110, that's 49.5 minus the chargebacks, 34K minus the upfront commission, that's 25.9, so that's 26,000 minus your lead spend, which is like probably 8. So 25,000 minus 8,000. That's 18K, 17,987. How many of you guys would want to be making $18,000 a month? Net, hard net. Drop 18 in the chat, come on. There we go, let's go. Victor, Dante. Dante dropped 19, I love that. It's hilarious. So, I promise you, it's actually one of the easiest things to do, 45,000. It literally starts with spending $2,000 a week in lead spend and just getting a healthy lead spend down. And then really working, like, dude, I mean, Preston Beck, this guy, like, he's going to start doing 60K months, and the only thing he did was change his lead spend, and he was doing $8,000 months before. Like, he had the room, he had the ability, he had the work ethic. All right, so watch this. So if you're at 45,000 and you're at 110 comp, you're making 18,000 net. Now let's say you bring in 5 of your buddies and they all start at 85%. So 5 of your friends, they all start at 85%, and you teach them how to do 20K. And the way that you teach them is you're their example. Because if you're doing 45, they're going to do half of what you do, so they'll get to 20. So then now you have 5 guys doing 20K, which is a $100,000 a month team. Now the difference between your comp and their comp is your override. So for this example, it's going to be 25%. So check this out. $100,000 team times 0.25 is $25,000 a month. Sounds pretty good. But again, let's factor in chargebacks, 17.5. Let's factor in upfront commission, 0.75, 13,000. So you're at 18K on your own pin plus 13K. Right now you're seeing $31,125. That's hard net if you do it all right. That's just with 5 guys at you at a 110 doing 45K, teaching your guys how to do 20. Every single one of you guys can do this. And this is my goal for every single one of you guys. Because I'll speak to like all the men inside of this Zoom room, is put a 1 or put a 2 in the chat if you want to be married and have kids. If you want to be a father, if you want to be a husband. Awesome. With the income that you guys are making right now, would you be able to, 1, even provide for your girl, your future wife? And 2, would you be able to afford kids? And the answer is no. And that's the problem, is because we all know that this company and that this industry, we all can go out and make $30,000. And that's what I want to see for every single one of you guys. It's $30,000 a month. Because I was talking with a guy named On Hune. He's in our organization. If you guys know him, he's great. He has 4 kids. He's got a wife that stays at home, and he provides them an amazing life, like truly amazing. And I asked him, I said, what are all your personal bills? He's like between $15,000 to $18,000, and it's only getting more expensive as my kids get into sports. And I was like, holy shit, I don't know how people in the real world, whatever that means, in the world, that don't have this job actually make it. Like, I genuinely have no idea. And so, dude, I don't want to take this opportunity for granted, and I want to make sure I set up my future wife, my future kids. I want to set up my mom. I want to set up my pops. Like, that is really what we're called to do as men, as leaders. Because, like, God has a unique purpose for all of us, but our job is to provide. So can you go and make a ton of money here? Absolutely. Our job is to protect. Are you guys healthy? Are you in good shape? Do you take care of your bodies? Because if you want to be a leader, the first piece of leadership is, can you lead yourself? And if you can't figure out how to lead yourself, you're not going to be able to lead anybody else. And like, dude, it's as simple as like, can you lead yourself to the freaking gym? Like, bro, like the gym is the place where you will find like the most discipline. And I promise you, the heaviest weight in the gym is not 200 pounds or 300 pounds or 400 pounds. The heaviest weight in the gym, you guys, is the front door. And most of you guys can't even lift that. But can we go from not going to the gym at all to going twice a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week? Like small adjustments. I don't need a complete 180 inside of your lives, but can you make these small adjustments? Where's my notebook? Check this out. I carry these everywhere I go. Like, I kid you not, in my backpack. Look at this. This is in my desk. Those 2 notebooks were in my desk. In my backpack, I got 2 here. For whatever reason, I just love like writing out my thoughts. But every single day at night, there was 3 things that I wrote down. I needed to win in my finances. I needed to win in my fitness. I needed to win in my faith. And this is probably the best thing I ever did for my business. But every single night, I narrowed my focus on what was important. And so I knew I needed to get a sale every single day, minimum 1 to 2 sales. But I wanted to base everything on my activity of what I could control. So I was like, hey, I'm going to get 8 presentations today, which I know is minimum going to require 600 dials. But every single day I would write down 600 dials or 8 presentations. And if I did that, I'd get a sale. So that was my win with my finances. Then I looked at my fitness. I was like, can I get a win in the gym? Because I needed to have healthy outlets. I needed to have things I could go to that would relieve all my stress. Because I was usually, if it wasn't that, I was smoking, I was drinking, I was turning to the wrong things. Or that stress would boil up and I'd low-key crash out. So I was like, all right, let me get in the gym. Every morning, could I get in the gym? Every deeper with my relationship with God, I started reading the Bible. I started picking it up. I'm like, dude, I didn't know God, knew nothing about Him. If you know my story, got a pretty wild one growing up. But I was like, hey, I want to get advice from something bigger than me, and I know that there's a creator. And so I picked up the Bible that I started reading, and bro, there were so many answers in there. And that was the thing that surprised me the most, is when I started reading the Word, like with my situation, which was so different than the stories inside of the Word, there was still an answer for my situation. I was like, wow, it's crazy how God can just speak to you. But every single day, those are my 3 wins. Could I get right in the gym? Could I get right with my finances? Could I get right in my faith? And I did those three things for 5 years. I kid you not. And then that is slowly what built this company, what built All Star. And now, guys, I want you to know this, like, dude, through all this work, like, there's a lot of hope at the end of this tunnel. I bought my mother a $500,000 house a year ago. I gave her $200K to go and do whatever she wanted with it. She built like an amazing backyard. The house is incredible. I send her $10,000, $20,000 every single month. She's taken care of. She's good. And it was so amazing because one time, you guys, I got into North Carolina. My mom picks me up from the airport, and you can see like she's got a nice tan. She's lost some weight. She's smiling. She's happy. And I was like, Mom, like, you just seem like you're just glowing. Like, I know you're excited to see me. I'm excited to see you, but like you just look so vibrant. Like, what's going on? She's like, Wiley, every single day, the last 90 days, I've been in the pool. I've been swimming. I've been out in the sun. I got to hang out with grandma and granddad every day. Like, I'm just happy. And that was one of the best feelings I've ever experienced in my life. Genuinely. And then I was able to give her that home, go down to Austin, Texas. I bought $1 million house. There's 5 guys that live with me that I get to do life with. Like some of my best friends, dude. I don't worry about money anymore. And I want every single one of you guys to truly feel that feeling. But all that, honestly, dude, like, it's amazing, but I kid you not. I remember the first time I hit $100,000 months, you guys. 4 days later, I completely forgot about it, and then I changed my goal, and I was like, let's go out and do $250,000 months. Boom, I hit it, and then I was just, like, numbed out. And I was just like, what am I doing, bro? Like, I keep chasing, like, a bigger number, expecting it to change, like, how I feel. And I kid you not, until I really, like, sought the Lord and was like, God, like, what truly do you want for my life? And just, like, gave it all to Him. That's when I started feeling, like, this overwhelming purpose and this calling. That our obligation and duty to one another is to go build each other up, is to go and serve others. That we have to put God first, ourselves second, and then watch how He moves inside of your life. But the last thing I want to, like, teach you guys is like, dude, leadership. Everyone wants to be a leader because of, like, selfish ambition, like selfish gain. They want to have the nice things. They want to have this. But, like, dude, leadership is truly a calling that you got to answer. Like, you guys all are being called right now to step up and go out and provide and, dude, show up. Like, honestly. And there's going to be a handful of you guys that shrink back. And there's going to be a handful of you guys that march forward on a daily basis. And it's like, bro, like, as men, everyone in here, women included, like, that is what we're supposed to do, is, like, march forward. For real. And I really just want you guys to know, like, from the bottom of my heart, that, dude, like, this come up, like, this journey that you guys are in is actually the best thing under the sun. Like, dude, this has shaped me into someone that I am insanely, like, so proud of being. Like, it will teach you so much. You'll have so much fruit. You'll have so much community from this. Yes, you will make a ton of money, but you will have a skill set and a character that no one can ever take away from you. Like, you'll be able to walk into any room. People will look at you, respect you, come to you for answers. You'll be able to deliver those answers. You'll be able to do whatever you want, dude, in any setting. And, like, this is the best company, industry, agency out there. Because we get to just ascend and get better with our friends and people and make a lot of money doing it. And it is extremely hard. And that's why it's so much fun. But I just wanted to speak into that, and, like, I could go on a tangent. I know I really just did. But I wanted to see what type of questions you guys have. You know, we could talk about building a business. We can talk about that. But I just want you guys to understand, like, the vision for All Star and the vision for myself is to whoever is to my left and to my right, when they come in contact with me, they become stronger human beings. They make more money. They get healthier. They know what real leadership looks like, and they pursue God. And, like, that's all I care about. Anyone that comes in contact with me, that's all I'm trying to do. Yeah. That's my Instagram. What's up, Jared?
Hey, Wiley. Just quick question. When you're talking about leads, for someone who's, I guess, the people writing consistent business over 15, 20,000 a month, right? what's your opinion on pouring more into high intent leads as opposed to getting a lot of volume?
Yeah. So what are you spending a week on leads right now?
I'd say around like 1,000 to 1,200.
Okay. And then what are you buying?
Pretty high intent IUL,
Okay. Are you doing like trucker IUL or just IUL in general?
just IUL in general.
Okay. And then what do you produce in a week? And like, if you could be super honest with all your answers, then I can help you out the most.
Yeah, so out of, I'd say, if I'm doing high intent and I'm paying $1,200, I get 30 leads, right? This is just the past week.
Yeah.
And I've sold 2 of them.
30 leads
And
and
then
sold
the
2.
return is, I'd say minimum, I'm just going to put minimum 3,000.
Okay. All right. So what I would do, and where do you buying them from?
A lead lab, it's called.
Yeah, I'm familiar. Trey's my guy, man. We actually built virtual sales together. Where's my pen? He used to be an agent, if you didn't know that.
Yeah.
So this is what I would do. Is what I've noticed with premium and age is there's not that much of a difference. So the two times that leads actually purchased insurance, there was this pie chart that came out, and the biggest slice of the pie was, or there's 2 slices of the pie. It was 25% here, 25% here, and then all these other like smaller slices. And what this was representing was when a lead purchases insurance. 25% of leads purchased insurance within the first 72 hours of them filling out the form. The other 25% purchase insurance 45 days after they fill out the form. So same. Like literally. So what I would do if I was you is I would go and I'd start looking at lowering your lead spend on the premiums, and I would start headhunting for volume aged. Because dude, more at bats is always better is what I've found. Because if you're only getting, if you get 2 deals out of the 30, like if we could get you 90 leads, dude, a lead's a lead, bro. You'll be able to get 6 closes. You'll probably spend less on the age leads. So what I would do is I would go shopping. Like lead labs are good. I know Ronnie's got some as well, but I would definitely be looking more towards the age. And then if the age, like what you would do, this is always my strategy. Go buy all the age that you can, the 30 to 45 days. And then if they're all bought out, or like you're only at $500 lead spend, then go fill the rest of it with premium. Then do an order of 500 or 750 with premium. Don't change your lead spend in terms of that 1250. But start with the age first, then move into premiums. You guys just got to understand you'll just have to dial a little bit more, but you'll be a lot more profitable.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I do my career. I'll walk away just for a second. Similar question, but for someone that has a team of, let's say, 10 downlines, would you recommend looking into high intent for that type of person if they don't have enough time to be on dials 500 to 600,000 a day because they're running around helping out agents?
Honestly, if you guys have 10 downlines, like you'll still have a ton of time. I think it's just going to be like setting really clear boundaries. How many downlines do you have, Aiden?
Right now, the 10. Yeah.
All right. Were you talking about yourself in the question?
Yeah.
Okay, fire.
Would it be more of a mix, like you were saying to Jared?
So dude, like what I would do if I was in your situation, I had 10 downlines, is like, first off, I would create like boundaries right off rip. So like number one, if someone wants my time, they have to show up. Like I have 3 non-negotiables that like all my downlines do every single day if they actually want my time. So number one, they have to show up to all the trainings and they have to send me notes. Number 2, I got to see a photo of them in the gym that day. And then number 3, they got to send me their dial tracker, 500 calls.
That's fine.
Right? Because like, honestly, dude, I think we just let people just come in and kind of do whatever they want. And then unfortunately, they get a horrible result and then we have to go and clean up their mess. I'd rather go, hey, here are the clear expectations from the jump. If you can't hit those, you probably shouldn't work here. you know?
Yeah, it makes sense.
And so what I would do if I was in your shoes is you guys do trainings every single morning, or at least you're gonna. So I'd make sure that.
Yeah, we did that one today that you were telling me and Dante about, and it went really well.
And then after that, what I would do is at like lunchtime have a break, like a gap in the day, and then just sit down with your guys for 30 minutes. Go through, if you guys have like dial trackers, I don't know where my dial tracker is, but I'm sure you guys know what that is, that like they actually track their dials, how many presentations they got, the objections. And then you just sit down with them for 30 minutes at your lunch, go through it, and then you finish the day strong. But the only time you should be helping them is early in the morning when they're on those trainings, at lunch, and then at night. Because the rest of the time, they just need to see you dialing and then just have them sit right next to you.
Awesome. Sounds good. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, of course, bro.
I have a question.
Yes.
So obviously you've been doing this for a while. If you could go back and start from the beginning, what is one thing that you would like make sure that you do differently?
Yeah, I think for me, I was definitely a people pleaser. Honestly, like I think we all want to be liked. We all want to be appreciated. We always want to be like in community. But I learned that being liked is way worse than being respected. And I let people walk on me a lot. Like I would say I was more of a doormat. Like people just literally just would walk on me because of how nice I was. And so I think what I would have done like up front is I would have taught people how to speak to me. So like this is a great example. So my cameraman right here, Colton. So, and I love Colton to death, but he was putting a mic on me and he just said, "Good boy." And like, he was just genuinely joking. But I just looked at him, I was like, "Hey bro, don't ever speak to me like that." Like he didn't mean any harm, I didn't mean any harm, but I was like, "Hey, I need to teach people how to clearly communicate with me. Hey, don't speak to me like that, don't talk to me like that. Hey, when you do that, I don't appreciate it." And so one, I needed to set like clear boundaries. Number two is when I was like leading teams and leading people, I was afraid of confrontation because I thought it would affect my friendship. But I think I told you guys this in the office. If you saw your friend's house burning, like a corner of their house, and they didn't see it for whatever reason, you would run in the house and you would tell them, you would pull them out and be like, "Hey, watch out." But if you see someone doing something that's ruining their life, that's destroying their future, it's our job to tell them. And so I think like what I learned, and what was your name one more time? Salma, that's right. What I learned, Salma, is when I go and speak with people and I'm giving them advice, I always it's called level setting. And you just pretty much get agreements up front where like, "Hey," like, well, I mean, this is different because I know you're not building a team yet, but I think this is important to be like, "Hey, like, you know how much I care for you. You know I want to see you in the best position, right?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, can I speak to you just like openly?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Hey, every time you come in and you're 12 minutes late and like you honestly just have a bad attitude, like I know that it's going to affect your future and your ability to provide for yourself, and I just want to figure out like how I can help you. Like, do you just have a hard time sleeping? Like, how come you can't get here on time?" And like literally just open up the conversation. But I think to answer your question, what I would have changed is really nothing. Like I think all the stuff that I went through shaped me, but I wish I would have been really clear on how to teach people how to talk to me and then, challenge my people the right way. So that would be my answer. We got Ethan and Jay. Well, let's wrap.
Wiley, I like what you said about, of course, leaving it up to the Lord's hands. We got a team of 18 guys right now. I'm trying to instill that with them as well, but also attempting to instill, like, we can't have idle hands either. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
Yeah.
How do you differentiate, of course, going after your goals, but also leaving it up to the Lord as well?
Yeah, dude, I think like you got to understand, like, God truly wants us to go out and provide, make money. Like, dude, he wants us to go and build the kingdom for real. And so as long as he's number one and works number two, then I think he'll show you like a huge purpose. But what I would just say is like understand like your identity with Christ is like, dude, he put us on this earth to work, bro. Like literally, Adam was working in the garden, bro. We're gonna be working. You know, eat, drink, and enjoy your toil. That's what Solomon says in Ecclesiastes. Like we are put here to work. It talks about people that don't work, how awful it is. Like they're worse than non-believers if you can't provide for your family. Like it literally says that. You know? And so I think it's just reminding people, but I think it's just honestly, dude, like it's so hard to teach this, but do you really ask God and like put him first in your decision making? Like do you pray in the morning and like consider your day? Ask him to open your heart, open your eyes, open your ears. That's what I do. I'm like, God, just like open up my heart, open up my eyes and my ears to see exactly who I need to speak to and where I need to be. And then anytime I'm making big decisions, I just pray real quick. I'll flip open the Bible, see if I get something from there. And then I'll rock and roll with the decision. And then God will correct me if it was the wrong one. But yeah, take everything and just put it at his feet. What's up, Jay?
Yeah, bro. Pleasure speaking to you again, bro. Appreciate you hopping on.
Good to see you, big guy.
I think Ethan really asked the question that I was going to ask, but I was going to ask it in a different way. Kind of just like a new entrepreneur trying to build a relationship with God. You know what I mean? Because like you know the demands this business takes, and you also know the demands that it takes to build a true relationship with God. So
Yeah.
like, kind of like, what's some advice you would have for a person that's in that position, and how can they like kind of battle between both of them? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just think about like Psalms 1. It says like, blessed is the man that, it talks about, I'm not going to be able to quote it, but it talks about like seeking God early in the morning and at night. And like, dude, like you got to have your quiet time. Like you got to have your intimate time with God in the morning. But if like for all of y'all, if y'all are waking up and you're going on your phones right away, like you already lost. Like you lost. You're being controlled. You're being led by something else. Because the question really is like, who leads you? What leads you? What influences you? And like most of y'all, unfortunately, get influenced through the world, through Instagram, through people that are honestly retarded. Like I'm gonna be flat out. Like people, there's some dumb people out there. Like dumb. And you see them on Instagram and you want that lifestyle and you chase it. And then it is hollow. And you're seeing their fruit, but you don't realize when you open up that fruit, it is so hollow. There's literally something in the Bible, it's called an arara tree, and it has an arara fruit. It's like this big plump piece of fruit, and then you go and you run up and you open it up, and there's nothing inside of there. And there's actually this white coat inside of the fruit it's used as poison. And it's like, that's what we see most of the time out in the world, is people have all these nice things, and it's like, oh man, like I want to get some of that, and you chase it, you chase it, you chase it. And the whole time, bro, maybe it fills you up for a second and it goes away. And I just realized for me, Jay, not to go on a tangent there, is every morning, bro, I needed to seek God. And then every night, I just like, honestly was like, all right, what did I do wrong? Like, did I cuss someone out today? Hopefully not. Did I gossip behind someone's back? Hopefully not. Did I snap on my videographer? Hopefully not. You know?
Yeah.
And then I just pray and I just repent. And I'm like, all right, God, like I'm gonna turn my back to those actions. Like, teach me how to walk better. Like, dude, just teach me how to be better. Like, yeah. I just realized like I can't do this on my own anymore. Like, it just got way too hard, bro. Like, you know how it gets. Like, I did it on my own for a long time, and I always found myself just beat.
Yeah. I got one last question, bro, before you go. As you know, every leader has a leader above them. Who are some people that you listen to? What are some books that you read for wisdom? Because obviously you're wise as heck, but who are some of the people that you get your wisdom from?
Yeah.
And, like, what type of books do you read?
Yeah, to answer your question, like, I really do like Alex Hormozy. I think he's super solid. Dude, Sean Mike is phenomenal. Like, he's phenomenal. Zach Twardowski, my mentor, he's amazing. And lately I haven't read books, read anything. If I get free time, I'm just gonna get in the Word. But I think I've learned like things in motion are hard to catch. Like you just can't get mold on a rock that keeps moving. Like a rock that's sitting in the river, you can catch mold, you can catch moss, all that stuff. But like, bro, if you keep moving, like nothing can catch you. And so really like my whole life, the past 2 years has just been like, I'm just going to move. Like every minute of the day, I'm doing something. Calling people, talking to people on Zooms. Like right after this call, I'm going and I'm meeting some people. I'm going to talk about content, but like every single minute of my life, like I'm trying to be in motion, because I think the more I'm still, the more I isolate my mind. Then I start like auditing myself, and then I'm like, I start overthinking who I am, and then that messes me up, and I'm like, no, bro, let me just keep moving. And through movement, I've learned the most. Through movement and then time with God in the morning, at night, I feel like I learned everything I needed to know. And also, there's one section, Jay, because I know like me and you have a relationship, bro. There's one section in the Word that literally is like, you don't need a teacher anymore. Like, you know, it's like when you've been anointed. It's like, bro, the only thing driving me forward now is going to be the Holy Spirit. That's it, bro.
You're right. I appreciate you, Wiley.
Yeah.
Real quick before you go, I was gonna ask, okay, so like say like, you know, everybody's not perfect and thing when it comes to like, you know, maybe you like miss a workout here, or like you miss that time frame that you were planning on having to have that workout, or miss that alarm. How do you keep yourself from being, you know, so hard on yourself to just keep going and staying in the positive mindset for that?
Yeah, that one's hard, dude, because like we base so much of our life on performance and like, did I achieve the things? But I think for me, it's just playing the cards that are in front of me. So if I was gonna go and work out, but I have an agent that's in need, it's like, bro, I got to be there for that agent right now. Like I think it's just learning how to play the cards in front of you. Like I don't want to be a robot and just controlled by my schedule. So, I mean, that's my best answer, is just don't get caught up. Like I think a lot of the times people fall in love with the streaks of like, oh, I've been to the gym 6 days in a row, or I haven't missed this 7 days in a row, and you're so terrified of if you don't hit it. And it's like, well, what does that mean about you? Like, it doesn't change anything about you, bro. Like, you're still a child of God, dog. Like, you're good.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? But I think right now, just, like, play your cards how you see them. And then, like, dude, just understand, like, mistakes, it's one of the key ingredients to success. Like, you know, you messing up here and there, just, like, just keep moving and don't even think about it. It's like, all right, I missed the gym. I fumbled the bag on this appointment or this presentation. Review it, keep moving. All right, let's do one more. Mark Anthony, close us, bro.
Yes, sir. So for somebody new that wants to start their walk, you know, with the Lord, where do you suggest, or where did you start?
Dude, yeah, great question. So it's first off, it is the most profitable thing you'll ever do inside of your life. I got all the money in the world, and I'd give all of it away just to have a relationship with God. Oh, we got David over here who's cold. But where I would start, dude, is I would go to someone that has a good relationship with God, and I'll just ask them just to like sit down with me once a week, and then I'd start reading one of the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. Yeah. I would start reading one of the Gospels, read a chapter a day, sit down with somebody that knows the Word really well, and then just ask them the questions, like whatever big questions you got. Yeah.
For sure. Appreciate that.
Good question, dude. But yeah, if you guys need anything for real, I'm here for you guys. I'm excited for you guys. Like literally, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, whatever you guys need, you can message me on Instagram, and I'll be sure to answer it. It might take me some time to get to there, but I'm here for y'all.
You don't want me to give your number out to the entire team, Wiley?
No, I'm sorry.
I won't do that. But dude, thank you for hopping on here with us. Thank you guys for all hopping on. We've been on here for an hour, so I'm super, super grateful to take an hour of your time, Wiley. Thank you.
Hopefully you guys took some notes, but more importantly, hopefully you guys go and use those notes. Wiley said it already. The man who always wins the race is the guy who implements the fastest.
Yep.
So make sure you open those notebooks again and put them into your daily lives. Use them in your daily habits. But we are an hour behind on the phone, so
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go, Dante. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you. Peace.